All right. Good evening. Welcome to the All About Nothing podcast kind of daily show. I am Barrett Gruber, host of the All About Nothing podcast with Zach King. You can follow me across social media at Barrett Gruber. This is Bill Kimler, host of Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jamil Brooks. Follow him across social media at Political Bill SC. I'm just looking straight into your eyes for some reason. I'm mesmerized.
Well, you are now talking to a center-left Bill.
You're going to make me fix that.
I'm officially center-left at the moment. That's where I'm going to stay today. Center-left.
And then you'll know just how much attention I give to the placement of the subjects in the shorts. That's what will happen. How was your weekend?
It was a wild and crazy weekend, Barrett.
Yeah,
wild and crazy.
How was the I heard you all had nearly 100 people or so in attendance at the
I counted around 150.
Okay.
150. So it was a good turnout, old and young and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day, gorgeous afternoon. We had costumes, we had dancing, we had chanting. We had mostly support from the people on the road honking as they drove by, a couple of wackadoodles who got mad. There was one guy, mid-20s, maybe mid-30s, stuck his head out the window and screamed, "I effing love Trump." And I was like, I can't think of a single president I would have done the same for. I'm not here to love a president. I could be inspired. I could be in support of. But screaming the name as I go down the highway in a car, no.
That's a weird reaction.
It is a weird flex.
It's almost similar to the ones that still have the t-shirts and the flags, because I see the flags around Lexington sometimes that say "Let's go Brandon" or "Fuck Brandon" or whatever, and I'm like, I'm a little disappointed that they spent money on that, but they probably didn't save up money for what potentially is going to be a shortfall when their SNAP benefits are unavailable here in the next couple days.
And do you really think that they are deep thinkers who have investigated his policies and seen his economic plans and his plans for the future? And no, you just know, you get to know the person. They're a flaming a-hole. That's basically what you know. and they are attracted like a moth to a bug light, to a Captain A-hole, and that's all I know.
These people that make a sign of their disgust out in public like that, I assume are the same people that leave comments on posts that they take the time to watch the video or the short or whatever, and then they will make a comment into that realm that I breeze past. I mean, I see stuff posted all the time that I just go past. I don't leave a comment because it doesn't have, I don't know. I don't have something, or I'm missing something.
You're missing words, apparently. You're missing a sentence.
It's late. It was a long day.
It is long day. I also had on Sunday, we had our sit down with Dr. Amy Andrews.
Oh, that's great. How did that go?
I have no idea when the episode is coming out because I can't seem to find a free blessed second to sit down and edit. So I haven't even started. It's just been crazy. And I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow either. Since we're going to Columbia for Jermaine Johnson's special announcement. So I have no idea when this episode is going to come out, but I will tease this. It got contentious.
Oh,
there was a moment of discomfort in this interview. And let me just say, you will be very drawn in. This is very, very compelling interview, unlike any you will have heard of the millions of interviews that she gives. She's all over the place.
Yeah.
This one will stand out.
Yeah, for the most part, her interviews tend to stay very positive, and I feel like there is a fair amount of coddling with Annie Andrews in the interviews that I've seen. So I'm interested in seeing that. I have to do real quick your favorite part of the show. Preach Jacobs, host of the Preach Jacobs
Soul
podcast.
SoulHAUS.
Next
SoulHAUS. Coming soon.
Next SoulHAUS session with Preach Jacobs on November 19th at the University of South Carolina Koger Center for the Arts. Doors open at 5 p.m. with vinyl spinning by Preach, and then at 6 p.m. the discussion begins with a renowned author, DéLana Dameron. Information can be found at the show notes or by following at Preach Jacobs on Instagram. Also,
come on, admit it. Preach is off camera, like with a gun to your dog's head, right? Telling you got to make that announcement. Oh, I see. Yes, I can see Morse code.
The blinking. Also, I had a really good weekend. Sunday was nothing but podcast, like from wake up to going to bed. It was. We recorded, and real quick, special thanks to Jennifer and Camilla of the True Crime Podcast, our True Crime Podcast, for doing a brand new crossover episode with us. That will actually drop on Monday, November the 10th. So that's a couple weeks away. Also, I recorded the episode with Alex Avenger. We went out to another kickball game and called Balls and Strikes for the upcoming Everplay Winter League. That was a lot of fun. The registration for that goes through over November 19th. I think that's right, November 19th. If I'm wrong, I'm just gonna, November 16th. I know it's after November 16th, but sign up by November 16th for all of the leagues that are going on everplaysocial.com. But yeah, no, the crossover episode was fantastic. Jennifer and Camilla's the episode, or the story they did, was about a woman that I knew several years ago who was a professor at USC who was tragically murdered. I didn't know a whole lot of the ins and outs of what actually took place and what led up to it, but it was an extremely compelling story. And when the episode comes out, she has a Facebook page that's sort of an in memoriam page, and I'll post that to it because I think we did. I think we did Jennifer Wilson a service. I think that they told a very good story about her and just the type of person she was. She was an amazing. I didn't know all of the things that she had done. She was a Rhodes Scholar or something like that. Like, she had gotten the University of South Carolina something like $600,000 in grants. She was tenured at the university after only 5 years of being a professor. So just an amazing person, an amazing story, and a life cut.
Will you be publishing this episode as well, or is it going to be only on their feed that we? No,
it's going to be on both. It is going to be on both. It is going to be on both. So I'm not sure exactly when they are publishing it. They seem to have they are currently working on their Christmas episodes, which they have the 13
Good Lord.
Yeah, or the 12 Nightmares Before Christmas that they do.
I can't imagine being so far ahead. But again, in our world, we have to stay current on current affairs. We can't go reporting on something from 10 years ago, right? That's not what we do.
Well, and also to reflect on that, that's why I do this. These two daily shows allow for us to stay more current, because like Zach and I will record an episode that's a week out or 2 weeks out. I have an interview with John Sears, who is the owner of several businesses in Columbia, coming up in a couple weeks, that we are going to be talking about the liquor liability laws and the impact on local businesses in Columbia and around the state.
And he may be out of business before it airs.
It potentially. It's entirely potential.
Although I will say, in our last episode, I did dive into Hands Across America. So I had to talk about that subject at length because it was relevant to the No Kings protest.
Really?
So I did dive back and do a little bit of American history. Jamil wasn't even aware of it. She had no idea about Hands Across America.
I think that was advertised for a very specific group of people, because that was like mid 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 1986.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
You may not even remember it as well.
I do. I do. I was in elementary school, and I remembered that we actually with our phys ed teacher, we had an event at the school for Hands Across, and all the students lined up across the field, all the way through the basketball courts up to the playgrounds and whatnot. So it was I remember that in my head, it occurring. So I look forward to that episode when you drop it, because I think that'll be pretty interesting. I guess I have several topics. We have entered.
Do we have to talk about topics? I'm
Yeah.
exhausted. It's been a long day.
we won't make it go too long. Government shutdown enters day 27 today, day 28 tomorrow.
Do you think we're headed for a record? Because the last record was the last Trump presidency. What was it? 32 days, I think, was the record.
35.
It was in the 30s. 35.
Yeah, 35.
You think we'll break it?
Well, I don't know, because one of the things that the House Republicans or the Senate Republicans are starting to talk about is that nuclear option, getting rid of the filibuster.
Yes, we're hearing more buzz. So if they get rid of that nuclear option, that's going to bode well for the next presidency and the next Democratic Senate majority.
Yeah.
We could have had the John Lewis Voting Act right now in place if the filibuster were not a thing.
So the Senate Republicans are threatening now to end the filibuster in order to send the clean bill to the president's desk, ending the government shutdown, ending the no pay for military, ending the no pay for air traffic controllers, and ending the threat of SNAP benefits ending. I don't think people understand what the repercussions and I'm not saying anyone should go without their SNAP benefits. Like the subsidies that 40 million people in this country require just to feed themselves and feed their kids. Like that is,
you're going to see crime go up.
Yeah.
Right. That, when you're hungry, people get desperate. And when you're desperate, you're going to commit crimes. You're going to see that. I wonder, though, if the Republicans do use this nuclear option, remove the filibuster, pass this clean bill, can they then just stick the filibuster back?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the process or what the rules on that are. I to change something like that, because the Republicans only have 56, 55 potential votes, except for now John Fetterman is basically walking the line of the Republican. He's been a huge disappointment in how he has, because Democrats in Pennsylvania elected him, and his popularity is below Donald Trump's popularity now.
If you go to his Twitter page, his posted tweet, X post, whatever it is, it's him talking about why he opposes the shutdown. And his tagline says, country over party, as if the Democrats' line about standing firm on health care and Obamacare and then those subsidies, keeping citizens alive, is a party thing and not a country thing. It's so disconnected that he thinks that this is all about just because we're Democrats, we're going to oppose this. As if there's no reason why they're standing where they stand.
Right.
You're right. Disappointment is the only word for it.
The repercussions of passing that bill will have an impact on not just the 40 million or so people that have SNAP benefits. It's going to have an impact on nearly 90 million people whose even their employer insurance could potentially see premium increases of anywhere between 15 and 20%.
Now, I read that there's a reserve fund that the FDA has, billions of dollars in reserves that could be tapped into, and Trump says no, screw it.
The U.S.
let them eat cake.
Yeah, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has an emergency fund available of about $6 billion that the benefits would be continued through the shutdown. In fact, the intent of that $6 billion that the Department of Agriculture has is specifically for situations of emergency where the government is shut down. And Donald Trump did order the Secretary of Agriculture, and I can't remember their name, but did order them specifically to not tap into that fund, that he would rather see Americans go hungry.
He wants to inflict pain.
Yeah.
Pain is the point. And then there's another thing. If you ever needed proof that this whole shutdown really is orchestrated by Republicans to prevent the release of the Epstein files, look no further than that donor who's willing to give $150 million of his own money to fund the military.
I got that one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the donation was designed to cover $150 million shortfall during the shutdown. So the gentleman who did that, his name is Timothy Mellon. He made $150 million donation to pay the military. So first, this deduction would cover only about $100 per military service member, not their families, not like everyone. It would cover about $100 for everybody.
So basically a 4-pack of burgers at the grocery store. Gotcha.
Pretty close. Yeah. Secondly, the Anti-Deficiency Act prohibits the private funding of military service salaries, along with the miscellaneous receipts statute and the purpose statute forms the basis of the U.S. federal appropriations law, ensuring that Congress and not private donors control the funding of government operations. You want to hear another odd fact about Timothy Mellon? Obviously, the name probably draws attention because he is the heir to the Mellon fortune. Mellon fortune, of course, associated with the New York Bank of Mellon, which is a long line of, there's trains involved and insurance and all this other sort of stuff. But he has association with Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe not necessarily through him himself.
He's on the flight logs, Barrett.
His father's on the flight logs.
Oh, that's his father. You sure that's his father, not himself? I thought that was him.
Yeah. So Paul Mellon is on the flight logs multiple times, listed with multiple female guests. Again, multiple times. Also, the Bank of New York Mellon has been sued by a victim of Jeffrey Epstein because the bank funded financial services to Epstein for his operations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm glad I have you doing actual research and you're not listening to me who just scans headlines at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Good for you.
But
Mr. Notes and pencil and paper over there.
I don't know if you can tell what I do is I have laminated cards that I tape my notes onto now because I used to write in a Sharpie and then I'd have to ink and erase all of the Sharpie that are on there because my hands are all over it. Taping them to the card is much, much easier. But yeah, no, I don't find this shocking that there's a billionaire out there that's basically paying the federal government to keep them closed so that the Epstein files don't come out. So we don't learn what Timothy Mellon's father was involved in, because the Epstein files, what I've heard is it's basically the testimony, the grand jury testimony from victims and witnesses. And that's the information they don't want out.
All right, I can't do this anymore. Hold on. For the last full minute, Riverside has been glitching terribly. Your video is coming across like terrible security cam footage with one frame for every second.
Is it?
And your audio is doubled a second apart. So I am hearing you speak twice a second apart when they overlap each other. And it's driving my brain insane. I'm trying to pretend like it's not happening. It is happening horribly.
It's tearing you apart.
This is the worst I have ever experienced Riverside.
Let
me tell you, I'm not putting up. I want to blast this platform here. This platform is horrible.
All right.
I'm glad you love it and you're paying for it. So, what do I care? But I wish I could record what I'm seeing right now. It is whack. I feel like I'm tripping on LSD.
That's interesting. Well, I can tell you are coming through clear to me without issue. So we'll see what the recording comes out like tomorrow morning when I publish it. But is it working okay now?
No,
it's not. Okay.
There's two of you speaking at once, but a second apart, and your video is stuttering like nobody's business.
I don't know.
And it was fine for the first 18 minutes. It's just within the last 2 minutes that it decided to go kablooey. Wasn't anything you did. Yeah. So I'll trooper on, but if I'm looking like my eyes are rolling in the back of my head, you know why.
I do understand. Trump also announced on Sunday that mail-in balloting and early voting are going to be prohibited for the 2026 midterm election because he's claiming, of course, again, that the 2020 election had been rigged. His plan is to use the Department of Justice to file lawsuits against states and monitor the elections. Just to give you a brief history of mail-in balloting here in the United States, it's been going on.
I'm out.
Oh, okay.
I'm out. Right. I'm gonna disconnect and connect back in, see if that improves things. I can't take it.
All right, we're gonna let Bill disconnect and reconnect. So just to give everybody sort of an idea, mail-in balloting has been going on here in the United States since the 17th century. In early colonial, it was scattered. Early examples of absentee voting existed in colonial times, such as the 17th century Massachusetts, where men could vote from home if their homes were vulnerable to Indian attacks. During the Civil War, there was widespread use of absentee voting. Many Union states passed laws to allow soldiers fighting far from home to cast ballots from the field, which were then mailed back to their homes' precincts. This was done for the critical 1864 election that reelected Abraham Lincoln. Is that better?
I think it's a lot better.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it might have just
Good,
been
good.
a bad port,
Oof.
maybe.
Yeah.
But so like mail-in balloting is historically been used in the United States for 250 years, or approaching 250 years. And this idea that because Donald Trump lost the 2020 election and he's still butthurt about it is insane to me. I don't understand. For a party that continues to tell the Democrats that they're snowflakes and that they're everything they do is an act of grievance against Donald Trump and this hate for Donald Trump. It isn't. Like, I have to keep telling people in comments that the only reason I care whatsoever is because I don't want to see the outcome of what Donald Trump is bringing to the United States. Like, I don't want to see what we're left with after he's done.
Well, I mean, to be fair, do I recall you being this vocal when George W. Bush was president? Or no, not really.
No, because
right?
I wasn't.
Because you remember when George W. Bush knocked down half the White House? Remember when he demolished half of the White House and then built a concrete slab in place of the Rose Garden? Remember when he did that, or held a military parade? Remember when he did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't remember you protesting then.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I did something today on Google Earth to see exactly what a 90,000 square foot ballroom would look like. So I had to convert to meters, which the conversion to meters is about 8,361 square meters. So I created an overlay that I just want to show you. This is the overlay of the size of the ballroom coming off of the east wing of the White House and what it will potentially look like if 90,000 square feet is an accurate measurement of what this thing is going to be. That's how big it's going to be.
I mean, a goddamn eyesore is what it's going to be.
There is, if you look, so over here on this side, of course, is the U.S. Treasury, right?
I'm sorry, are you pointing with your finger and I'm not seeing it? How are you over here? There's your little cursor. Okay, I can see it now. It's very faint. No, I can see your little mouse. Go ahead.
But yeah, so the U.S. Treasury is about from the building for the U.S. Treasury is about from here to here. Yep. So it eclipses the size of the U.S. Treasury building, which is not a small building. But this is the footprint of, because I extended it out as far as I could to as close as the street as I could get. That's about 83 meters out and then 100 meters down. That is 90,000 square feet. That's
I hope that President Gavin Newsom on his first day in office turns that into a DC homeless shelter.
You know what? You're not the first person that said that.
Yeah.
That is the second time that I've heard somebody say, well, I hope what they do then is when President Trump is no longer in office, that they convert it into some sort of housing for the homeless in Washington, D.C. Yeah. I don't think that's a terrible idea.
It's supposed to be the people's house. Let's do it.
It might be a little close to the White House, but honestly, here's my opinion. I don't think they're going to finish it. I don't think it's going to get finished because as everything that Trump does, there is always a delay in his constructions. The likelihood is this is going to suffer the same. And what we're going to be left with is the shell of what would be a room. I don't think it's ever going to make it. I think that the likelihood is that because private donations are being made to create this thing, Donald Trump's out of office, demolish it and build back the east wing of the White House.
Now, what I'm not hearing a lot of is the hundreds of historical artifacts that must have been in that east wing, and the architecture, et cetera. Was there anything that was preserved? Did they save everything? I mean, I have to imagine there were also, because it's an ancient building, hidden compartments, trap doors, secret entrances, closets that they didn't know were closets, and there must have been some amazing artifacts there of historical significance that got destroyed during that demolition.
Well, the Hall of First Ladies, which was something that who was it? It was one of the previous first ladies had basically set it up. So all of the portraits of the first ladies were in this hall. Or at least I believe going back to John Adams and George Washington. So there were portraits that were up. I would have to imagine that they saved those, that that those were put somewhere else. But I do know under the East Wing is the bunker command center for the White House. Like the whole of the bunker command center and the tunnels that run from the White House to the Treasury Department, and then the adjacent halls that are tunnels that go to the Capitol building, like those are all right there underneath. Have you heard the rumor that because of some of the donors that have made donations towards this, what was 200 million, then 250 million, and now 300 million, that those donors are companies like Meta and Google and Oracle, and these donations are coming in. There's this rumor that the entire thing is being done to fortify this bunker as a giant data center under the White House.
Well, I'll tell you, a company does not do something like that unless they've got a measured ROI.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's something in it that they think is for them. That theory is as plausible as anything else. Because I tell you what, it's not like Meta and Google are winning over any more consumer sales as a result of this. So there must be some other big plan, and that's as good as any.
Yeah, we'll have to see how.
What I don't know is, what does the pillow guy have to get out of this from his donation? So the My Pillow guy, $10 million. Well, what does he get?
How does he have any money?
I just made that up. He didn't donate anything.
Oh, okay.
I just made that up. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he was one of the contributors, what would be his ROI?
Alex Jones is out there also trying to make donations, even though he still has a $1.4 billion.
Steve Bannon's got $25 he's put up towards this place.
Right. Yeah.
How do we get in on this?
Yeah. I'm more than happy to let them demolish my house and build a giant ballroom where I can live.
You know what? Today is Monday. Did any of our predictions from Wednesday come true?
I didn't see any of them come true.
Did you write down those predictions? I got to go through the checklist. Let's see. Is there a bouncy house where the East Wing used to be? No bouncy house?
No bouncy house.
Did RFK Jr. catch measles?
No measles. And he also did not institute a new health triangle or food triangle.
Oh, no new food pyramid. Did Hegseth appear in any adult videos?
I'm going to say that one's still plausible. We just haven't seen him yet. His manhood. We got to remember, we got to open up with our prediction results, because one day we're going to hit, and one of us is going to look like Nostrafreakendamus. I've written down my predictions for next week already. Oh no, you can't write them down. They're supposed to be off the cuff. It's more fun that way. I have to. That's how you're supposed to. You're supposed to tune in your psychic powers and reach out into the netherverse and get your psychic vibes for what's going to happen the following Monday. That's fair. Well, maybe I'll trash them. You're out there doing research. I mean, come on. Well, take the fun out of everything. Why don't you? Well, that is, I have been accused of that before. I was married once before too. So, also real quick, before we get out of here, I'll just mention, Hurricane Melissa is now at 175 miles per hour as of this recording, with sustained winds, wind gusts up to 195 miles an hour and plus. I hear it's essentially the end of Jamaica. It could potentially be. It just depends on where it goes and what happens. I was trying to explain to one of my coworkers because they asked, are you all anywhere close to this hurricane? Because it's being reported all over the world. This is the one of the strongest hurricanes that has been seen in the Caribbean and in the North Atlantic.
Record-breaking size is what they're saying.
Yeah. Technically, Hurricane Patricia that hit Jalisco or somewhere in Mexico back in 2015, it had wind speeds up to 215 miles an hour. And when it came on shore, it was 190 miles an hour. So it isn't, but technically in the Caribbean, and for this late in the season, because hurricane season ends in like 4 days, right? 4 or 5 days.
It's trying to catch up on everything in one hurricane. It's trying to make up for a otherwise quiet season.
I guess one of the things that I think is interesting to me is I've been monitoring personal weather stations in and around like Kingstown and Kingston and other areas.
Oh, I thought it was like your personal weather station.
Yeah,
like, Barrett's weather. What was the forecast above your head today?
I have one.
Okay, good.
No, but I ordered one of these things off the TikTok shop. Or Amazon.
I've never purchased off of TikTok.
No, I've not been unpleased with some of the things that I've purchased off.
And TikTok. I've seen some interesting trinkets. I mean, it's the coolest thing since what is that, QVC and the weird stuff you can find on television.
Yeah.
And now I see these TikTok ads pop up with normal people just hawking some goods. And some of them are quite intriguing.
Yeah, more power to them. But yeah, I ordered this weather station off of TikTok, I think, and it's on my roof. It gives me the whatever. It gives me the temperature, the wind speeds, and direction, and humidity, barometric pressure, and it also measures the rain. I think there might be something faulty with it because I recorded 39 inches of rain today, which seems wrong.
Did you not build that ark in time? What the hell, man?
Yeah, I've been asked if I was swimming to get the mail today, and I wasn't. But I was trying to explain the hurricane and where it was, and they were like, "Well, why do you think it's gotten so big?" And I said, "Well, I'd have to explain like thermodynamics to you in order to really explain how hurricanes grow in intensity." And he was like, "Okay, yeah, explain it to me." Shit. Okay, so the ocean is warm water gets warmer, it evaporates. That evaporation changes to mechanical energy in the results of wind, and and then of course it condensates back down as it cools, and that's
can see
what it is.
The appeal of the simpler explanation, like it's God's punishment for gay marriage. Like that's so much easier to say and people to buy into. That's how hurricanes form. Okay, you just go with the easiest answer, and away we go.
Yeah, that what, and that answer would probably go over just fine with some of my conservative friends. I think they'd probably be perfectly okay with that being the explanation as to why.
So, what are you doing tomorrow night? You joining us at the State House on the State House steps after around dinner time?
So I have bowling tomorrow evening.
What time's your bowling?
6 o'clock.
Oh yeah, that kind of overlaps.
But it starts at 5, right?
5:30.
5:30. I'll see what I can do. I'd like to come out there and see him announce, because I think he's going to run a great campaign, and I think that if we've ever had a more likely Democratic candidate for South Carolina to run for governor that could potentially win, it's him. I think Dr. Jermaine Johnson is the most likely of the recent candidates. Shaheen didn't excite me. Who was
Cunningham came after it. Yeah,
Cunningham did not excite me whatsoever. Like I didn't.
Not even when he posed shirtless at the beach. That didn't excite you in the least.
You'd be surprised how little that excites me. And I say that with you knowing me for the last 3 or 4 years. And the stuff you keep sending me in text messages. I don't understand why you think that's me. But yeah, Cunningham didn't excite me. And then the stuff that came out with him in the lawsuit against his ex-wife, because she posted a tweet that I guess inflamed him. And so I just got the feeling like Cunningham was a frat boy, and that's all. And once I came to that decision, I couldn't get past it. That was it. I still voted for him because,
oh, it's the alternative,
Well, we have the alternative. We have Governor McMaster's for now in his 9th year as governor.
I'm pretty sure it's his 97th, but I'm not counting too much detail.
It does feel pretty long. So
yeah.
Well, we'll wrap it up. Bill, thanks for being here. I know getting on in the rain is with the day and the cold and everything sort of it makes me want to crawl in bed early, but we're here. So
we're doing this for our own entertainment, and if somebody else happens to listen or watch and enjoy it as well, then bless you.
How are we going to do this when the whole power grid goes down later next year because of the Trump policies? Like,
I'm just wondering how we're going to do this when the Eagles have a Monday night football game. Then we're going to have some serious issues.
Do they have Monday night football game scheduled this year?
I actually don't know the full schedule, but I have to imagine. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the league and one of the bigger television draws, so I can't see how they don't have a Monday night football game or two coming up.
Well, so related to that, and before we jump off, did you see Aaron Rodgers was putting smelling salts back up into his nose again?
No, I was too busy watching the Falcons lose to a winless team.
See, that happened much earlier in the day. And Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers were in Green Bay last night.
Wait, you pivoting? You pivoting topics again? We're not going to talk about the Falcons' amazing season.
That was San Francisco. Last week was demoralizing. Last night was just gut wrenching. Or yesterday was just gut wrenching. I am Kirk Cousins being in there as quarterback. I don't dislike Kirk Cousins, and I know he's the backup quarterback and he's the veteran. He's supposed to be helping Penix get along, but like that was just a poor showing. The handoffs were terrible. The passes weren't great. I will be glad when Penix is back and we turn the season around because we're only halfway.
What happened? Is he injured?
Yeah, hip injury or something like that.
Oh, I missed that. I was wondering. I thought maybe he gotten benched and Cousins was in, but it was an injury.
Yeah, it was an injury. Okay. We also didn't have our number one receiver out there. So
right.
Yeah, this was and I guess if you were going to think that there was any game to do it, then Miami would be the one because Miami sucks. But yesterday they didn't. San Francisco's defense sucks, but last week they didn't. So, any given Sunday, everybody's going to beat the Falcons. That's.
But Aaron Rodgers, he looked like he was measuring caskets by the end of that game. He was.
I have zero love for Aaron Rodgers. Like, this is a guy who announced his retirement and then came back to play with the Jets. And then what was it? The first game, the third play of the very first game of him and the Jets, he busts his Achilles and then he's out. And he's out for the whole season. I saw the injury. I didn't think it was that bad, but guaranteed his money, as long as he played through the second year, he would get his money. So he stuck
this
around.
was the guy that was Mr. Outspoken anti-vax.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, right?
Anti-vax, but he'd go down to Chile and smoke peyote and what was he? The ayahuasca. This was the ayahuasca guy. He'd shove himself into a cave for 3 months.
This is a guy that doesn't want to put poison toxins into his bloodstream.
Right. The cognitive dissonance of reality is just unbelievable with some of these people. Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't get a role in the Trump administration. He could have been our health secretary.
I got to imagine that the offer's out there sometime because I think eventually Trump's probably going to get tired of all the negative press about RFK and he's probably going to kick him to the curb, and Aaron Rodgers is right in there.
Yeah.
He'll make just as much. He'll make enough money to cover his ayahuasca trips to Chile. That's exactly what it'll be. And when and then now we'll have the availability of prescription ayahuasca for citizens of the United States because it was proposed.
Didn't you end the show about 15 minutes ago? What are you doing?
Big thanks for tuning in. Don't forget you can follow me at Barrett Gruber and Bill at Political Bill SC. You can catch us live every Tuesday and Thursday right here every night. No, every
Tuesday and Thursday.
Monday, I'm reading off an old card. Monday nights, Wednesday nights, we'll be back on Wednesday. You all stay safe, be kind, keep your hands to yourself. All over the place.